our first interview for today. In the heart of Cape Town, this organization is one of that is fighting against overwhelming odds and doing incredible work in our local communities on the Cape Flat, an area where children often face poverty, violence, and also limited opportunities. So yet amidst these challenges blooms an organization planting seeds of hope and possibility. So the Cape Flats Youth Development Programs doesn't just offer after-school activities, they're also creating pathways to transform lives for primary school learners in Capricorn and Vrygrond, and through their unique blend of academic support and psychological nurturing, they're breaking cycles of disadvantagedness within these communities. So today we are honored to welcome Ester Uys, passionate force behind this remarkable initiative. So thank you very much, Ester, for availing yourself to speak to us today. How are you doing?
Hi, Jasnine. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, listeners. Thank you so much for having me.
And it's just a pleasure to be speaking to you. So firstly, Ester, as the Cape Flat has many organizations working in these areas and working to similar approaches such as your organization. So what personal experiences or moments led you to create this specific program that basically makes it different from all the many organizations that's out there fighting for the same cause?
Okay, Jasmine, first and foremost, without the National Lottery Commissioner's support or donation, we would not have been possible to do this program. So firstly, before I move on, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the National Lottery Commissioner for their generous donation of 467,598 rand given towards our Bouncing Back Gender-Based Violence project. This donation has had a significant impact on our work. So we are now basically able to provide and educate the individuals, especially young youth, about gender equality, consent, and healthy relationship, which fosters a culture of respect and preventing violence. So can we move on to your question?
Yes, definitely. So I just want to know, how is your organization different compared to all the many that are fighting for the same cause?
Okay, so fine. Okay, fine. So we have a holistic approach and we focus on the whole family. We don't just focus on the child, but we focus on the family. We provide individual counseling. We also raise awareness about gender-based violence, and where there are parents that's not able to provide the necessary service to the child, we also bring them into the equation to provide the necessary therapy that they need. So it stems from the parents and goes down to the child. So we don't, some organizations, they only focus on the child, but Cape Flats Youth Development Programs, we focus, on the family. And that is how we see that we make a big difference.
And Ester, as you basically use the holistic approach, so when we talk about psychosocial development, as you basically mentioned that you involve the whole family, so many people might not fully understand what that means in practice. But could you just walk us through how you address the emotional and also the social needs of the children who may be experiencing trauma or instability at home? What services of academic do you render to assist them as a unit and the whole family, and not just work with the child, but like you've mentioned, you do use the holistic approach to work with the parents as well?
Okay, so fine. We have a social worker, and this social worker provides services in the community. She's at Zeralda Park Primary School. She's there on a Tuesday and a Wednesday. Whole day, children can approach her. She also provides services to the parents, so parents are most welcome to come into the center and get the necessary services that they need. While she's at the school, children approach her. She also has group work sessions with children. And what we do for therapy, we do mindfulness mediation. Mindfulness is a practice that involves paying attention to the present moment without judgment, focusing on your senses, your thoughts and feelings as they arise, and cultivating a sense of awareness and acceptance. So with parents, where parents are not able to really function, the children go through many, many trauma. Not not in the school, not just in the community, but, at home, this trauma, they're also exposed to this trauma. So we believe it doesn't work if we just focus on the child. We've got to deal with the family because that child goes back to the family and they face the same problem. So we the parent or the guardian or the carer, where they need the support, we have group work for parents where we support them and give them the necessary tools to be able to cope with their copingness, to cope as well as to assist their child.
And Esther, I do understand that as each child goes through a different type of trauma. So how do you adapt your programs to focus on the various children's needs, to make it focus on one child's specific needs at that point? How do you alter the program so that it's able to focus on various children's needs, because everyone's needs is not the same?
Absolutely. I agree with you. So our social worker, she will do a needs assessment. She does a whole intervention program with the child. She will do an assessment with the child to see where there's a fit for this child. And as we just mentioned now, each child is different. That is where individualization comes in. And so we have noted all those things and we put them into different programs that will fit and identify that same need, where they can share emotions and thoughts based on their feelings, which is similar.
And do you render the programs to the whole of the Cape Flat, or do you only work in Capricorn and Vrygrond?
Okay, so what we do, we are based at Zerelde Park Primary School, which is a high-risk school. It's, extremely high risk. And then we also are providing services at December Primary School. And then we are at the VCDT Community Center in Capricorn. So we basically do those areas.
And just listening by the programs that you do offer, if anyone that is currently tuned in right now that needs to render these services, because it's not always easy, especially if you come from the Cape Flats, you don't always, or you're not actually very trustworthy to people to open up and say this is occurring. And in some cases, because of the trauma that you've gone through, so you don't want to tell your story or get the necessary help that is required for you to be able to move through the healing process. Like, are there any various specific programs that you do assist them that they can make use of, or coping mechanisms that they can work through what they have gone through?
Yeah, so we at the center in the community center, we are open there on a Thursday and we welcome clients to come and walk in so that we can render them this necessary support. And yes, sometimes we deal with the clients that are hesitant because they've gone through so much mistrust in relationships with their families, in communities. Clients don't easily trust. They're very wary. So what we do, we focus on building a trusting and relationship with the client and build rapport through active listening, validating their feelings, and creating a safe space for exploration while respecting their pace, and avoiding pushing them to share prematurely. So it's you work in the moment, and you've got to really get your client to first trust you before they can open up. So we work on their pace. We follow them, and when they're ready, most times the client feels so comfortable that they actually feel, I'm ready now. I'm actually ready to want to make the change in my life, and I'm ready where I want that support services.
And does that also apply to a child that has maybe been ostracized from the family? Like you've mentioned, reunification is very important to you.
Absolutely. Reunification, we believe in the reunification. Reunification is very important because the child needs to have a relationship with his family. So we first work on the family to reunify that child back with the family. Meaning, if the family is not, if it's not conducive for that child to get placed back into that family, we will hold back that child and make sure that that child, the home environment is conducive, it's safe, that all aspects of that child's family life is functioning. So only then will we place that child back with the family. We are basically working with a safe house in the Capricorn area, and it's called the Free Land and safe house. And we've got this space. We are so lucky to have this space where children, just recently, yesterday we were called in. A child is in foster care. I need to share this. And she no longer wants to be with the foster parents because there's abuse. This child is going through so much trauma. There's drug abuse. And we were lucky to have this place where we can place this child, take the matter to the commissioner and keep the child there for maybe 6 months until the commissioner has found an alternative placement for this child. So we're very lucky in that aspect.
And safety is the most important thing at the end of the day, and yet your organization is providing that. So Esther, for those that are inspired by today's conversation, like how can they also get involved or support the cause of your organization so that they can also be a part of the journey of the Cape Flats Youth Development Program?
We welcome people with open arms. We would like people to assist us. We would like all the support. We want community participation plays a vital role. We should all hold hands and in unity we can move forward. So, people that want to really get involved in this program, I can easily give you the number and they can call Chelsea Augustine, our social worker, and it's 076 7731 259. Alternatively, they can contact esterace9@gmail.com.
Okay, just repeat the number again.
076 7731 259.
Okay, so you've mentioned that number is 076 7731 259. That is the easiest way
correct.
how people can get in touch with you, or alternatively they can go via the website like you've mentioned, or drop you an email on esther.ydp@gmail.com.
So it's cfydp.co.za.
Okay, amazing stuff. Thank you very much, Esther, for taking the time to speak to us today. Where do you see the future of the Cape Flats Youth Development Program?
Well, I see this program. I have this passion. I have passion for people. I can just see this program going very, very far. If we all stand together and we, as a community, as a society, we can make a change. And Cape Flats Youth Development Programs is still going to be available for services rendered for many, many more years to come. So we are really we're making waves.
And what is the operational time?
So we operate from 8 o'clock in the morning and we are available until 5 o'clock. Our social worker is available. I am always available after hours. I make sure that I am. Just last night, while we removed the child, I was also called and we were available. I was on the ground after 7, after 6. It doesn't make a difference. We are always there to support.
Thank you very much for the amazing work that you are giving back to the community. So Esther, just in conclusion, are there any additional words you would like to leave us with?
Yes, absolutely. I have a key message to the audience out there. I want to say, be supportive. Be supportive. Keep yourself, your family, and community healthy and protected. So say no to any form of violence. Always think back and say, this is not the way, including physical, emotional, psychological, sexual, or economical violence. Nothing can be an excuse for violence against women. Stop the violence, please. And thank you very, very much, listeners. Thank you so much, Janine.
And I am truly blown away by the Cape Flats Youth Development Program that isn't just changing individuals' lives, but they're also planting that seed for community transformation that will bear fruit for generations to come. And I agree with you fully. Gender-based violence should by 2025, because it's been going on for decades now, it should come to an end indeed. So like you've mentioned, the easiest way to reach out to you is to contact you on 076 7731 259, or they can go via the website, and that is just Cape Flats Youth Development Program. It's that easy to get hold of.
Absolutely.
So have an amazing long weekend, Esther. Bye.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for everything. We appreciate this. And we appreciate everything that your station is doing. Go well.
Only a pleasure. Have an awesome day. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
So for our listeners moved by Esther's work, remember that change happens when ordinary people decide to make a difference in our community. So whether through volunteering your time, contributing resources, or simply just spreading the word, you can be a part of the journey of the Cape Flats Youth development programs. So like I've mentioned, the easiest way is to go via the website. It's Cape Flats Youth Development Programs. Or alternatively, contact them on 076 7731 259. It's that easy to be a part of the work that they are doing.
89.5 FM.
Everybody has the right to treat everyone equally as the same way as you treat yourself.
Push Radio. The mother for community radio in Africa. 89.5 FM.